and start this up. All right, so we are recording. Guys, we are going to jump into this real quick and go through why, when, where, so on and so forth. So let me share my screen real quick. And I'll share this one. Okay, so hold on one second. Let me pull it down to just one picture. All right, so real quick, basically, guys, we are going into, I didn't go to the right screen. Hold on one second. I need somebody to unmute themselves real quick and tell me what you see. Andrew, what do you see right now? Do you see it stand out with Google with a free business profile?
Yeah, I see the standout Google with a free business profile and woman doing yoga.
Okay, I'm just making sure that you have the right page. Okay, all right. So, guys, here's what we're going to be looking at, and this is basically a business profile for your business. Now, contrary to popular belief, a lot of people believe that the business is built on Century 21 Haggerty. It is, but you also have to have your business running on it as well. And this means when people search, because what happens once we go through a listing appointment? People are going to immediately take and put you on a search through Google. And if they don't find you, what's going to happen is they're going to find whoever else pops up. Or they're going to wait until they find a agent that does pop up. And the reason I say that is because it is statistically proven that after an appointment, traditionally a buyer or seller will go through the process of looking you up online, looking for your reviews, looking for your, if you have listings already active, looking for your Zillow profile, looking for your Google profile, and so on and so forth all the way through. Now, the downfall to this is that a lot of times you don't have enough presence. So why not use what is free out there in the marketplace, okay? Real quick, Andrew, can you see me on the screen as well or no?
Yes.
Okay, so given that nature, basically we're going to go through what is a Google profile. So does anybody have any ideas on that? Does anybody want to speak up to what they think a Google profile is? Nobody? Norma? I'm looking your way. All right, we're class participation is not there, so we're going to go ahead and just type in what is a
Hey,
Google
Brian.
profile. All right, what is a Google profile, Norma?
Well, isn't it just like your business page with any reviews, any blogs, anything like that? I mean, that's what I created. I don't know if that's different.
Well, so basically, yeah, it's an easy way to find where we're looking for that person, right? So if I'm looking for Norma in the marketplace, okay, and I just type in, let's just test it out a couple different ways. So if I type in Norma Las Cruces Realtor, okay, Norma Las Cruces Realtor. Look at that, nice and shiny smile. Look at that, that's Norma. So that is what I want to see, right? Norma has created her business page. Now, there are some things that we could enrich on this page, right? So we only have one Google review. We want to boost that up as much as we can. We want to make sure that we have, all the other ancillary stuff. So if you'll notice, she only has an outside picture here. You can open that up and add in additional pictures of the business so they know what they're looking for. When they walk upstairs, they will be able to see the office, so on and so forth. They can add some additional content. Now, on top of that, she has her website, she has some directions, and she has a save content. So clean, but there's some more that you can add into this, okay? Now, on top of that, you also get her realtor profile, her Century 21 profile. She also has a Facebook profile. She has a Zillow profile, a Homes profile, Home Snap profile. So she is well relevant when you type in, just in this case, Norma Las, and I didn't even spell Cruces right, Realtor. Norma has a very relevant presence in the marketplace. This is positive, okay? Now, the key is making sure that that is constant across the board for everybody, okay? And if you'll notice, she has the address of the office, which means, Norma, I'm assuming that you had to authorize this whenever they sent you a postcard or type in a verification code, correct?
Actually, they didn't. I was just able to put that address in there.
Okay, super. So what that means is that it doesn't exactly match the office address. So it's a little bit different. So they let her have it just because she posted it in there. Now, given that, basically what you have is a nice, good profile that has all the access. So if they type in Norma into, in this case, I just typed in Norma Las Cruces Realtor. If I typed in her actual name, it will pop up even more. But there's enough detailed where the person can find information about her. Now, the key is here enriching that content so it has some more relevance, okay? And I'll go over that a little bit farther out in the class. But does anybody have any questions on that? This is what you want to see, right? Anybody willing to risk themselves out there? Let's play, can I pick on you, Doris? I'm gonna put Doris. Okay, so with Doris, basically what happens is she just gets the other side, okay? So this is a perfect scenario. Norma got all that extra stuff that was on the right-hand side. Doris is only getting the stuff that's on the left-hand side. Now, here's the downside to that. Realtor.com, they'll share that contact information with you, but it's going to go through a third source. It's not going direct to you, all right? And then you have some other things. Doris Buchanan comes up. You have additional ideas. You have Century 21. And like I said, Doris is competing. Whereas if Doris had a profile on Google, she would be able to steal that spot directly, because if nobody else has done it, it's going to give her primary. And the faster you do it, the more relevance that you're going to have. And then I can show you how to add in some additional content going forward. So given that, we want to make sure that content is all up to speed. So if I type in, instead of just that, if I type in Doris Solis, what happens? So once again, Century 21 pops up, Facebook pops up, and so on and so forth, but you still don't have that right-hand side, okay? Now, what do you want your profile to look like? Now, I'm gonna use my profile, and I'm not telling you by any shape or form that my profile is the best out there. I'm just gonna simply say that I've tried to get it built up as much as I possibly could. Okay, so let's start with the top. Photos, okay? You have the see outside as well. You have your location, but photos is what's really relevant, because I'll show you some analytics in a second why that means so much. When you click on photos, I have a bunch of photos in here, and I just add content all the time that shows in photos, okay? Century 21, closings, the office, stuff that we do, so on and so forth, just constantly through videos, information, you know, just constant content. This is basically a Facebook for the public, okay? A good way to be able to find you online, and it just gives you access. To add a photo, it takes about 3 seconds, and it takes no time at all to be relevant in the marketplace. You can also see by owner, you can see videos, or you can see all. So other people can actually post videos of you. Now, on top of that, you also want to have your other reviews, and I'm noticing right now that my Zillow reviews just popped off. So normally I would have Facebook reviews as well as Zillow, but for some reason that has been cut off. So I'm gonna have to look and see why that is. It also has ask questions and answers. Now this is really important, because I traditionally will get messages from people that are looking to ask me questions on Google, all right? So if I click on ask a question, I'm signed in, I'm not signed into myself. So I would just simply type in my information. I could actually ask a question specifically to that business owner, in this case me. It would populate as a message to me and be able to get it quick access, okay? So it gives me just that little extra step up to be able to see everything that's going on. On top of that, if you start this from your phone and you have somebody searching from your phone, it actually has a little tab in there that says message. That message runs through what's called Google Duo, which you get whenever you have a Google business page. And Google Duo will give you the opportunity to text back to that client and create a conversation from their website. So from google.com, you're texting directly with a client. Really powerful stuff, and opens up a whole different dialogue from a person that may not be ready to commit to actually meeting with you in person, but has that extra detail, okay? Hold on one second. I'm just going to change my screen so I can see a little bit more better. Okay, so let's go to what happens and how you build the page. So to get to this page, it's very simple. You simply go to google.com/business, okay? So in that case, if I go over to this page and I just type out everything here, except for that google.com/business, okay, it's going to take me straight to this build out page. Now, engaging customers for free, this is giving you a bunch of opportunities on why you want to do this, okay? So a couple of the things that it's gonna do, it's gonna create that business profile. It's gonna open up ways to reach your client, okay? If you notice on the mobile app, it allows to message. When you click that button, it opens up into their text message and it'll text you on your phone from another number, and then you can have a conversation that's operating through Google from their website. So they never step out of the program, which means that you can track them much easier. It also allows them to call directly when they're looking at the phone. It also allows for directions. Now, this is a powerful one to make sure that your address is correct in the system, because you want the directions to go to the right place, okay? Now, on top of that, you also have the opportunity of 5 billion searches, 3 billion searches for hotels, and so on and so forth. On a realtor count, that search count is sitting at about 372 million realtor-based searches, okay? Now, on top of that, it allows you to engage. Your customers also see some opportunity as well. So they'll be able to see how many people are following your page. They'll be able to look at a lot of those details. And in your engagement, you'll be able to see on the Google Business app, you'll be able to see how many people are searching for your site, how many people are looking for details on your site, and what your searches are, what your map searches are, all those details, okay? So when you go through this, all you would do is basically sign into your page. If you don't have a Google account, then you would create a Google account. So when I click on sign in, it allows me to either sign in or it allows me to create an account. If you were going to create an account, you would go right there and click on create an account, build it out. It's a Google page. It can be built on your standard Google. So if you already have a Google page in play, you can use it from there. In this case, I'm gonna sign into mine. All right, so in this case, I have 4 pages that are built out. So I have the Century 21 stuff that I'm a manager on, and then I have my page. Norma, back to you. If you don't verify your system, some of the features will get cut off, and this might be why you're missing some of your like Zillow reviews or stuff like that. But this is where you would verify that information. You can just click how to verify. It doesn't always require a postcard or something mailed. It sometimes can just be a phone number verification, but you want to make sure that your stuff is verified, okay? All right, one of the big things is managing reviews, okay? Now, as you get those reviews, you want to reply to the reviews. These reviews are important to reply to because it shows your relevance in the marketplace. If you have a bad review, you certainly want to reply to it ASAP. Linked accounts, this is basically where you would have that additional account information. I have my AdWords account linked to this, okay? And then basically if you wanted to add in additional, you could go through the account settings and build out those other details. Now, notifications, okay? So what notifications do you want in there? You want to select as many as possible, and then I'll show you the Google mobile app that will show you those notifications as well. Now, when I go back up to manage locations, I'm gonna click on mine, open it up. And in here, I'm gonna have all my information, okay? My managed photos. So here I can upload photos. Guys, if you'll notice, this is the exact same photo, but it's been seen over 1,900 times. And you can click on, so this is talking about details. All right. But right up here, you can see where your performance is doing. So I've had 3,920 views on my search. I've had that have viewed my profile. 2,800 have actually searched for me. 1,320 have actually done something, okay? Now, this is where they have website visits, calls, photo views. Photo views, this is why photos are so important. Photo views are huge. And then direction requests, okay? And I can also see if I'm going up or going down. I've actually gone down pretty significantly this month because I haven't posted as many photos. Now, the next part down here is posts. Now, think of a post kind of like a blog, if you will, okay? So to create a post, it's very simple. You simply create a post, you take a picture, you add an event or you add an offer, you write a quick post. Now, the post does not have to be long. Traditionally, the best way to get action on these posts is to push it to a website, whether it be a landing page or something informational based. But you can post information like you can just say, hey, great enchiladas at Kiki's today. Take a picture of Kiki's and then send that page to Kiki's, right? So you're basically building Kiki's support through yours and giving them some benefit. Now, the benefit here is that you can create it as a button. And when you look for your profile, you can do things like learn more, sign up, call now. Call now actually registers a phone number and will allow you to call directly. So if I wanted to create a post, let's see if I can just take a photo here. So let's just say that I'm going to throw the Century 21 seal up there. So I have my photo, okay? And let's say I want to edit it a little bit. Okay, and I update my post photo, and then I say, find out who are. Okay, and I'm going to set this up for a phone call. So you have to have a verified number, okay? And then I publish this. When I publish this, this is going to be a post onto my page. So when somebody searches for me, they will now see this post online. And you can click on view post right here, and it will show you all the posts that I've had. And then you can share that post through Google, through Facebook, through Twitter, through any of those resources. So I traditionally will use this as a version to click onto our blog post. So this is just SEO content that we're building out through our blog post, okay? Nothing too rocket science, just kind of really cool stuff that you can build out your page. The next thing is going to be our info page, okay? So our info page is going to be about us, okay? It's going to ask things like, what type of business are we, okay? And as you go through the profile, your first setup will walk you through a lot of these questions. But if you skip through the setup, you can actually build it out after. And that way you know what you're doing, okay? So I have information, I have an address, areas that I serve, times that we're open, okay? So why do you put the times? Because when you put open and closing times, it actually puts a relevance on the fact that you're open during this time or that time, and it'll actually push your map search up using Google and their algorithms. It will actually push your search up. That's why I actually have it in here that we're open till 6 instead of putting it open 24 hours. Open 24 hours actually gets less impact than if you have a specific time that you're open. Now, this has our closing dates, the dates that were closed for holidays. So they automatically go into play. I also have an appointment URL in here. So I talked to you guys about Calendly when we talked about apps. You can put a Calendly appointment URL in here that will book an appointment for you automatically. You can add in services. So this is a new function. So I haven't gone in here and actually filled this out. Highlights, the same thing. So those are things that have been added after I built out my original page and I need to go in here and update. They also have an @ symbol, okay? So what is the @ symbol? This is basically the opportunity to say that if I want a short name, so if Brian Burds, you want to have everything focusing on you for the purpose of this page, and you want it to be able to get as much Google juice as you possibly can get by creating a short name that allows for that, okay? Scrolling up, sorry, I'm stuck in. Okay, so on the right, you have view business live on Google, view on maps, share your business profile, close or remove this listing, Google Assistant calls, okay? So what is Google Assistant calls? Let customer use Google Assistant to book you, also quickly update. So basically you can go through and allow a person to book an appointment with you through Google Assistant. So if you say, hey, Google, book an appointment with Brian Burds, it will actually open Google, set up that page to allow them to get information about me. You want to have that checked because people are starting to use this, okay? Advanced information, this is things like store codes, Google Ads. These probably aren't what you're going to be using yet until you get into further points. Insights, you want to go and check your page on a regular basis. You want to know where it's coming from. Where are the contacts coming from? Where are people looking at you? All right, so Brian Burds, that's what their main search is for. So they're finding me via 56, but I'm getting a lot of searches via Realtor, El Paso Realtors, Realtor El Paso, Realtors in El Paso, and so on and so forth. I want to have that content. I want to have people looking for me, and I want to know what is getting me some people looking at my profile. I'm looking here, and I see that people are typing in apartment complex. I only had 10, but 10 is worth looking at to why are people looking at me whenever they're looking for apartments. Knowing that and figuring out how to work that to your benefit is going to have some help in the long run. Now, this goes into where customers are finding your business, listing on maps, listing on search. So I'm getting a lot more people that are looking for me or finding me via maps. I want to be able to push that search capability up as well. Customer actions, visiting our website, that's kind of low. Requesting our instructions to get to our place, calling us, messaging us, okay? Now, direction requests, where they're coming from, okay? So I can see, are more people looking for us from 79912, from 24, from 25, from 36? Nobody's looking for me from this neighborhood, all right? So this would be allowed to give me a vicinity of people that are looking for us in a certain area that will tell me what I need to target for, market for, people that know who we are, okay? Okay, phone calls. Where are they coming from? What days are they coming from? You know, these are really key because this tells us what points we need to be really focused on our phones, okay? Photo views, those are huge. I talked to you about that. Photo quality, I didn't put that in there. Reviews, we already talked about. Make sure that you're replying to your reviews. Make sure that you're pushing your reviews. If you'll notice, I can look automatically at ones that I have replied to and ones that I haven't replied to. Messaging. So I talked to you guys about this a second ago. This is using a program called Google Duo or the business app. So it actually moved over to Google Business, which I'll show you in a second. Photos, keeping those photos relevant, keeping them up to date. If you'll notice, we're putting our reviews on there. We're putting photos, videos, as much content as we can, just to make sure that people are looking at it. Now, if you'll notice, this photo right here has had 17,000 views. Paul's recent review had 50 reviews, 21 looks, 174 looks. These are people that are looking at our content, and they're basically just reviews. So this is really heavy pushing back to our website. Services, this is where you would update your services. Website, so you can update your website information. You can create a website in Google that will be able to be booked out for you. Now, I don't use this, but you can if you want. If you don't have your own personal website, you can create a make appointment, call now, get directions, a direct website from the system. Users, if I want to add anybody as a, if you'll notice, I have Kaylee on here, Tiffany as a manager, and then I have my my SEO guy as a manager as well. Create ads. So if you want to create an ad directly from here, you can do that. Manage location, link accounts, okay? So if you want to add any additional linked accounts, and I apologize, and then basically I moved out of my profile. When you have multiple locations, the dashboard's a little different. But going through and making sure that all these are relevant for you. Now, in that whole basis, ask yourself a couple questions, all right? Why does this mean anything to me as a realtor? Well, there's a couple parts of that, why it's really relevant, and I'll show you that if I can take this off real quick. I'm gonna stop the share here. And I'm going to go back and share. Sorry, I can't find my mouse. Sorry, missing my, lost my mouse somewhere. Hold on one second. Mirror display, that way I'm not trying to find my mouse again. Okay, found it. All right, so share, and I'm gonna look at real quick, show you how it looks on okay. So from my business app, this is the actual mobile version of this. Now, this is why it's really powerful, because this allows you to do most of the stuff I just showed you while you're on the go. Now, where is that beneficial? Things like when you want to make sure that people see your pictures quickly, you usually take your pictures on your phone. That's that makes quite a bit of sense. So yeah, my son bumped his head last night. So I can put that as a quick photo into my account. All right. And I can go through and pull that information. So I can grab all that data. Yeah, let's say I wanted to create a photo with Frozen, right? So I can throw that into my system right away. If I want to create a new offer, I can do that directly from here. So if I want to offer like 10% off or a free inspection if you click on this ad, or $250 credit towards your closing cost if you click on this ad. This is a way that you can generate some interest from your post online easily. And you just offer some descriptions, if there's a coupon code that's required, and if there's a website that they need to go to get it. On top of that, you can click on new events. So if you were going to create like an event for an open house, for instance, you could create that event in the system and be able to know it right away, okay? On top of that, you can also see your customers, okay? So if you'll notice, I have reviews. In the middle, I have messages, okay? Now, why is this beneficial is really because you can see messages through this system and be able to send that message back and forth through the client. This has some real benefit to you in the respect that it's going to allow them to go online, click message now. They don't necessarily have to remember your phone number. They can just remember to go to your profile. And then you can go on followers. I don't have any followers yet. We haven't really pushed that, so I haven't worked on that. Once again, you can go on here to edit your profile, and you can edit all the details. You can edit your top photo. You can edit your profile photo. You can also do things like posts. You can also edit sorry, I got a few minutes left, so I got 10 minutes left. You can go through and edit your short code, okay? So if somebody wanted to get to me, they can just go to g.page/BrianBurds, and they can find that out. That's a short code that you can post onto Google, onto Facebook, onto Twitter, all those things. You also can edit all your dates here, and then you can go through and update your photos as well as your posts. Now, posts is where I really want you to focus. So if you want to create a post on the fly, you are at a house, you want to show the details of that house, I just simply click on the information where this bottom little button where it says create post. I pick a picture that I already have in it, or I take a picture, right? So if I take a picture, and then I could add in details about that, I can post it, and now it's been published as a post, which creates Google Juice to come back to you. People that have more posts pop up more on things like maps. They search more on people and search for El Paso Realtor. They'll pop up more if you do that. And then what I want you to do is I want you to take that post and I want you to share it out, okay? So if you click on this little button here, it says view on Google, okay? If I view on Google, I can now take that share button and I can share that through Facebook, through any of the resources that I have, or I can just copy it and then move it over to Facebook, move it over to Twitter. You can do a lot of different things with it, and it gives you a real opportunity to build your business as a overall reference. So guys, I have about 8 minutes left. I want to kind of open it to questions because remember, guys, I'm trying to keep these under 40 minutes. So questions real quick. Does anybody have any to open up?
Hey, Brian.
You got to unmute yourself. Go ahead, Norma.
So I'm in the App Store. Which app is it? Is it just Google?
Called Google Business.
Okay.
And in this case, on the iPhone, it's called My Business.
Okay.
Google My Business. Okay. Anybody else got any other questions on how to use something in the system? Any questions? Any concerns? Anything that I mean, like I said, I won 30,000 guys, but I only got 40 minutes to try and run this stuff out. So I wanted to make sure that I got a lot of the stuff in play. So anybody, come on, guys. This is where you have to ask those questions. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable in this setting so you can know that information that you might be asking yourself. Like, why do I need this? Why is it necessary? Any of those questions. So does anybody got anything? I got a bunch of people online, but I need to know that you guys know what's going on.
I mean, I'd like to know more about how to, when you're at a restaurant or at another business, and really kind of share their link, I guess. That kind of was over my head. But I like the idea behind that, where you can kind of go in there. If I'm at another business and then I somehow, you said you can push both people at the same time, but I wasn't sure on how to do that.
Correct. All right. So I got 6 minutes to show this real quick. So Nick was asking, how do we build other people's business while building our own? Okay. So quick way to do this. All right. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. Hold on. It's coming up. Hold on. All right, let's say that I'm at the New Mexico State card holder store, okay? So I'm sitting at the New Mexico State card holder store, and I want to take a picture of this gorgeous card holder that has lasted me almost 14 years, okay? So I take a picture of it. All right, so I have this beautiful picture. I do some editing, throw in some, benefit, make it nice and pretty. Okay, I press next. And now I want to talk about this wonderful place where I found this great card holder. So I talk about that. Great card holder at NMSU card holder, whatever, right? And obviously I'm just typing for time purposes. I add a button. Oh, sorry. I add a button that says learn more. Okay. And I ended a website. Now this one's going to be www.nmsucardholder.com. Okay. Once I press publish, that's going to post on my profile. Now, why would I want to showcase somebody else on my profile? Well, the answer is by me showcasing them, anybody that likes that picture, clicks on that picture, it's feeding through me. Now, why is that beneficial? Because now I can say, hey, NMSU cardholder, check out what I did for you. I got you some clients. They went straight to your website through mine. Would you be willing to do the same about the realtor that you now have become friends with? Make sense? Nick? Yeah? Is that a thumbs up? Sorry.
Well, I had to unmute myself. Thank you.
Okay, so guys, and that's a quick way to build rapport, to build up. I mean, and it doesn't have to be food necessarily, but it could be insurance agents. It could be, for instance, Classic American Homes right now is creating a 2.8% purchase price or interest rate if you buy before the end of December. That's a perfect way to boost Classic American. It's a perfect way to boost yourself, and they'll use you whenever you're asking those questions. So just kind of gives that extra benefit in the grand scheme. So any other questions, guys? We have about 3 or 4 minutes to go. Guys, ask the questions, because this is, you have to build that out. Norma, I applaud you quite a bit for the fact that you had a nice, clean profile. And I will tell you right now, guys, you saw it just now. People have searched my name 2,800 times. I don't have 2,800 clients that are in my pipeline right now, which means I need to constantly be working on that, because those 2,800 people only encompass what was my calls to action. So let me tell you, because I want you to understand why this is so important. So out of that 2,300, I had 92 website visits, I had 29 calls, and I had 17 direction requests. Those are the only 3 actionable items, but I had 2,800 people search for me and another 3,900 find me on websites. I only had 140 people actually do something. So I need to constantly be working to figure out, how do I get more people looking at me to make sure that my market presence is not obscure. Obscurity is the death of entrepreneurs, okay? Don't become obscure. Make sure that it's relevant. Norma, did you happen to open your profile? Did you get in? How many views, searches, and activity are you at?
Give me a second. Let me look at the overview.
It's on your homepage on your business Google Business app. So homepage, and then at the top it should say views,
okay.
Searches, activity.
Yeah, I don't even compare to yours at all. But
that's not the point. How many
I have 28. I got 28 views.
How much searches?
20, and then 11
20?
activity.
What are the activity? Tell me what the activities are.
Let me look here.
Just click on the activity, it'll tell you.
Website visits, calls, photo views.
How many website visits?
1, and then 1 call, and then.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. That 1 call, do you know what call that was?
I have no idea.
Okay, so if you click on the calls, you can start digging into that information, right? So you can actually start to find out, who is calling you, when they're calling you, and ask those questions. Know where those calls are coming from. Ask, did you find this on whatever? Did you find this on Google? build that. I mean, 20 is not bad. Normally it's not, because that's 20 people that may have not seen you in other aspects, you know, may have not seen you on social media, may have not seen you in other retail. So guys, I'm less than a minute, 40 minutes on this class. If you have questions, ask. And remember, bit.ly/C21 train. It's in the chat function. Feel free at any time to click through that. Okay? Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, Brian.